Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing episode 14 of The Mandalorian. This one's called The Tragedy. And of course, as always, this is a spoiler review, so please watch the episode first before you watch this. And as always, if you've already watched it, make some comments below what you thought of the episode. So anyways, for this episode, Mando arrives on the planet of Tython with Grogu. He's taking him to the Jedi Temple that he was told to about by Ahsoka. And so he takes him there to the mountain, and there's just like this little, it's an altar thing made of stone on top of a mountain. And so he places him there, and he's sorry, not Yoda, Baby Yoda Grogu starts to go into a trance. He goes into it's a trance, a seance thing, whatever. And so, he once he's there, and he starts bringing up his powers. So, Mando realizes he's watching him do this, and it's funny too because at this location, I'm wondering if they filmed it in my native town of Chatsworth, California. It very much looks like the hills there in Simi Valley. So I'd be just curious if they filmed some of the scenes there. But anyways, just looked very familiar, the mountains there. So anyways, he's watching Grogu do his thing there on the communing, and what shows up but the slave one? And who's the slave one? Boba Fett. Boba Fett found him. So Boba Fett arrives, and then, at least we know. I mean, Mando doesn't know that, but he sees him arrive. And he's like, "Oh crap, kid, we gotta get out of here. Somebody's here." But he's trying to get to Grogu, and unfortunately, he's like an energy shield that he's gotten up during his seance and throws him back, so he can't get to him. So, anyways, he sees them, and so, anyways, he engages in a fight with Boba, and who else is in? But with Fennec. What's her name from the last season? He thought she was dead. He left her on Tatooine, but I guess Boba found her and saved her life. So they have a little shootout. But then after, or wait, I guess they didn't. Oh, actually, they didn't shoot out. That was later on. But they have a standoff, and Boba says, first Bando's like, "Are you here for the kid?" And he's like, "No, I'm here because I want my armor back that you took." And then he's like, but of course, Mando doesn't think that he's only a true Mandalorian should have that armor. And he's like, "Well, no, my father had it, and he was a Mandalorian," and blah blah blah. So they have this negotiation, but then as as they're having that face off, because Fennec is threatening to shoot the kid if they doesn't give him the armor. So they have this standoff, but as they're kind of resolving their standoff, then troop carriers arrive with the Empire and with the Stormtroopers. So they have a big shootout with the Stormtroopers, and now I gotta admit, this was a badass thing, man. You saw Boba Fett do his thing. So he had there, and he has big club. So they're doing shootout. Fennec was, sniping a lot of the Stormtroopers, and then he was taking them out with his big club. He had his big metal club. It was pretty awesome, just crushing the Stormtroopers. And then, of course, he sees, during the fight, he sees the Razor Crest sitting over there. So he gets an idea. So he goes into the Razor Crest, and then during the shootout, he comes out, and where he had Boba's he's got his armors back. Looks pretty badass. Totally reminds you, of Empire and Return of the Jedi. Got that total vibe there. And so they have this big battle, and they kicked the Stormtroopers' asses. I mean, they really handed to them. Because, in fact, too, they had the big Gatling gun out, the lasers, and they still beat these guys. So it was pretty awesome, the fight. It was well choreographed. I really love that shootout. And so, so they beat the heck out of these guys. So the guys end up retreating. I thought it was the funniest thing. It looked like a meme. Like, the runaway from Monty Python. So they ran back to their ships. And both ships, they flee after getting their butts whipped by the three of them. Because they all ganged up to beat these guys. But it was awesome, dude. I love the scene where they were flying away. And Bo just like, hold on just a minute. He uses the missile jetpack, aims it, boom, takes out one of the carriers, and that carrier hits it with the missile, and that carrier falls on the other carrier, collides the other carrier, and they, boom, go crashing. Awesome visual there. So, so they're like, oh, awesome, we thought it were reprieve. Well, just a temporary reprieve, because then all of a sudden, a blast comes down from the sky and blows up the Razor Crest. And Mando's like, shit. That's my ride. It's like he's fucked. So he's pissed when they find out that Moff Gideon's ship was above them the whole time. So now So Moff is like, so once he sees that his stormtroopers are beaten, he's like, okay, release the Dark Troopers. So the Dark Troopers are released, and they look like villains from the first, actually second or third Iron Man movie. They're just big machines, big iron creatures. So they descend on there, and they get and go down there, and they capture Grogu because after he communes with the Force, he's just laid out. He's totally out of it, and so they just fly down and they capture him before they all three of them get back up to the hilltop to rescue him, and so they fly off with Grogu. So now Grogu is captured by Moff Gideon's forces, and then they realize, then when Boba flies up there and he sees that it's the Imperial ship, big Imperial cruiser, like, oh crap, the Empire's back. And you realize that so kind of word's going to get out. So fortunately, they leave off. And then he tells him. So he looks to the remnant. He gets his Vespar spear back in the ruins of the Razor Crest. And then Boba tells him, like, you know what? This isn't over because we vouched you that we would protect the child, and we didn't do that. So we're gonna, me and her. So the three of them are going to help him. The two of them, Herman and Fennec, are going to help him get the child back. So that's what they're doing. Now they're going to hunt it back and try to find it. So anyways, you see there at the end, in this episode. So you see the kid in the ship, and he's this is great. He was just using the Force to whoop the ass of some stormtroopers, two stormtroopers. They were just flinging around his prison cell. I thought that was great, and Moff Gideon's just amused by this. But then, of course, the child's too tired after doing that, and so they zap him to put him down. So they're going to use him for experiments. But before that, then he goes back to the planet where Cara Dune's on, and he's say, hey, I know, there's a prisoner I know who knows the location of where the Moff is going. So I need you to help me break him out, since she's now with the New Republic. She's she got a rank now in the New Republic, so she's going to help him, I guess, break out this prisoner who's got the information he needs. I believe it's Bill Burr, character from the first season. I saw it on the computer. So, anyways, that ended the episode, and what I say, man, this was really awesome episode. I just love seeing Boba Fett. Now, I mean, this one kind of goes hand in hand because this episode was directed by Robert Rodriguez. You can tell because the action was just sparkling. It felt like one of his movies. So it was great. So I don't know if it was as good as the last episode, because Ahsoka was so awesome in the last episode. Dave Filoni's the best in directing Ahsoka. I thought that was the best episode. But this one stands up right to it. It was awesome to see Boba just doing his thing. Man, that's definitely people. Boba Fett fans will definitely be happy with this episode. So, anyways, guys, so that was my review of this latest episode of the Mandalorian trilogy. What'd you think? Have you seen it? Leave a comment. And thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Take care.